All Dutch affair about to get underway here.
25.
The last 16, Geoffrey de Zwaan. Impressive.
25.
So far today, beating Steve Beaton, fellow Dutchman Luke Peters, then a last leg decider against Johnny Clayton. And there's signs that the Zwaan is getting back to the form of kind of 2018, 2019 time when he won a couple of Pro Tour titles. And we all thought he might have been the mainstay, partnering Michael van Gerwen in the World Cup after the retirement of Raymond van Barneveld. When it hasn't really worked out for him since. Lost his tall card at the back end of the year, but the quality's there. He gets it straight back. And he's starting to make an impact. Had a really good
40.
UK Open. There was an incredible performance when he rallied from 4-0 down against Gerwyn Price to then win with 105 average. And we've been speaking about him, Rod, and obviously we look at Dirk, the impact he's making now. This was the impact we thought that Geoffrey de Zwaan was going to make. It's a bit of a puzzler.
Oh, it's a complete mystery to me, Mark. I mean, having watched him play many games in that 2018 World Match Play, which he started off by beating Michael van Gerwen in a sensational performance in the first round. He went all the way to the semi-finals. And then the 2019 Worlds, when he looked like he had Rod Cross, the defending champion, on toast at the Ali Pali, lost that game due to a brilliant performance or a brilliant burst of play from
60.
Rob Cross. And then after that, it's just gone off the rails. In fact, I fancied him to win the 2020 World Championship. He lost to Peter Wright. But he played brilliantly in that tournament as well, hadn't he? As I recall.
59.
He's got something, hasn't he? And
yeah, he beat Chisnell, didn't he, in that tournament, I think?
Did, yeah, 4-3, and it was an incredible game. And you're just thinking, right, it's time to kick on. It's just been very stop-start. And his opponent, once he started to find the reins, the rise has continued. Dirk van Duijvenbode. He won the last Pro Tour here in Barnsley. He dominated the final against Ryan Searle, and looking to dominate the early proceedings here. Would only be a holder throw.
60.
Quite fine. So outside chance for de Zwaan.
Yeah, just finally, de Zwaan beat Chisnell with 106 average, and that's why I thought he could win the world title. He lost to Wright in the next round.
It was over 7 sets, though, wasn't it, man?
Yeah, it was over 7 sets. And you just thought, this boy is going to be the next big thing in Dutch darts, and it just hasn't happened for whatever reason. Now, he could re-find it, and he appears to be starting to re-find it, and I hope he does, because he's quite an exciting player to watch, isn't he? He doesn't muck around by any manner of means.
He's got to take the example of his opponent here. When these opportunities arise, take them. Dirk van Duijvenbode, similar to Geoffrey, lost his tour card, got it back, and we've seen the best version of him. And Geoffrey will be hoping that will be the impact for him. Is he going to get a look here? He is.
He is. I mean, Big Dirk is a lot of fun as well. The walk-on's great, isn't it? I mean, it's epic stuff. But here, de Zwaan looking to pinch.
14.
Does not pinch.
Shouldn't have really been splitting there, Geoffrey. Should have teed it up better at the previous throw. But that is a holder throw for Dirk in the opening leg. Already got a Dutchman through to the quarterfinals. Raymond van Barneveld beating a fellow Dutchman, Kevin Doets.
137.
Pretty low-key affair. 6-1. Gerwyn Price, impressive again, beating Nathan. Good run for Nathan Rafferty today. But his run ends at the last 16, so there are the first 2 players into today's quarterfinals.
We were talking in the last game, Mark, we were about 180 hitting and Ross Smith, but here is the king of the maximum at the moment in the PDC, Big Dirk van Duijvenbode.
81.
He's got to piece it together. Another one we're talking about, kind of the natural transition, is a TV title.
Been close.
He has been.
98.
Well, the final of the Grand Prix, that was a big breakthrough, wasn't it, when he lost out to Gerwyn Price, but there were some impressive victories there. Anderson, Whitlock, Vandenberg, Michael Smith.
98.
That was in the behind closed doors time as well, wasn't it?
And that's where another one we question, but he's made the transition. Yes, he hasn't been to another final, but
40.
He's had exciting runs in big tournaments, hasn't he?
Yeah, he continued his rise up the rankings and has been to a World Series final when he lost out to Dimitri Vandenberg, the World Series of Darts final as well. He threw for the match against Gerwyn Price. Not a ranking final, that one, so.
Match play quarters this year, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, lost out to. He beat Michael Smith. He lost out in an All Dutch fair to Danny Noppert.
Noppert, that was it.
And that was a game you think he'd have fancied. Steady on, Dirk. It's not in yet.
60.
It's still not in. He walked on the first start.
1 pointer, double 16, double 8.
17.
Big moment early in this match for Dirk. He's been missing doubles.
Game
Not
shot.
on this occasion. He's been in forwarded misses and still winning legs. 2-0 Van Duijvenbode leads now. And without being anywhere near his best, but he'll settle for that. Gary Anderson into the quarterfinals. Averaged 112 in beating Keegan Brown.
93.
6-4. Keegan played well.
Is this a renaissance for the Flying Scotsman, do you think, Mark?
Well, the signs he's been
140.
playing better. He should have beat Dimitri van den Berg. He made a real mess at the back end of that match in the UK Open last week, but there was a victory over James Wade in there. But signs that he is getting back to form, and he's entering the European Tour qualifiers as well. So it shows that he's still got that appetite, and he's been afforded the luxury of not playing in them for a long, long time now, Rod. But now he's dropped out the top 16. That luxury's gone. He's relying on the Pro Tour. We talked about getting to the match play. Gary will, for the first time since maybe his first couple of years, he'll probably be unseeded at the World Match
98.
Play. If he gets there, that is. Not doing himself any harm today, though.
180.
There's a max.
$93.
The Zwaan throw seems to be a little bit more considered
25.
than in those days in 2018. He'd have rattled those at the double without blinking. Now it's a little bit more considered, I think is the right word, just a little slower, a little more poised to it. He hasn't hit the target though, has he? That's the main thing.
He's taking a little bit of pace out of it, hasn't he? There's always a lot of snap in the action if Jeffrey does one. For 3-0 here.
97.
That would have hurt. So Jeffrey.
Right, he really can't afford to miss again.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't do that.
No, you can't.
Not at this level. And Dirk van Duijvenbode can't believe his luck. This is for 3-0. He's
Game shot.
playing nowhere near the standard we expect. And he'll accept it. And he's halfway to the quarterfinals. We've already got 2 Dutchmen in the quarterfinals, Raymond van Barneveld, and he's just been joined by Chris Landman. He's beaten Radek Sagansky 6-5.
51.
Well, breakthrough day for Chris Landman, and he's topping up off the Challenge Tour. He hasn't got a tour card, Chris. So making hay today after his call-up.
27.
Just as a closing note on
99.
the Anderson debate, Gary Anderson, a 50-1 chance to win the World Match Play, Mark.
I don't think he will be for long. There's signs.
180.
But he's not confirmed as a qualifier yet, is he?
No, I understand that.
I mean, we'd expect him to make it, and he's putting himself in a great
140.
position. But there's still a lot of darts to be played before now and the cut-off for the World Match Play.
140.
Dirk will certainly be there as a seeded player. Just what number seed?
81.
Yeah, Anderson is currently around about £7,000 off the
31.
match play spots. But if he win the whole event today, he'd jump into them spots. But there's still plenty of darts to be played.
105.
The Zwaan wait goes on for an opening leg here. Can Dirk pile on the misery? For 4-0. And it is 4-0, and it's just not happening for Jeffrey de Zwaan. Had a great run today, but it looks like it's coming to an abrupt end. 4-0, he trails here. And like I said earlier, Dirk is nowhere near
9.
his normal level of play. He's creeping up slowly. He's around about the 88 average now, but he wouldn't have expected to lead 4-0 playing like this, but he's taking the chances.
Well, Zwaan has missed all 11 of his attempts at a double in this match. So quite a missing streak at the start of a match, and it's not
85.
the kind of thing that's going to keep you in a game against a player of Van Duijvenbode's quality. 4-0 down, having spurned chance after chance
98.
after chance, and now in danger of being whitewashed by his compatriot.
95.
And he's visibly frustrated now, Jeffrey, isn't he? He can see the ties just not slipping away from him, it's running away from him, isn't it? And Dirk is just being afforded too much
77.
time at the key parts of the legs, and
180.
well, that gives Dirk something to ponder here now, and it's 87.
$62.
Now then, Jeffrey. He's had a lot of these chances already, though, Rod, hasn't he? You wouldn't bank on this going.
He wants 41. He wanted 41, sorry. Anyway, which way? He's missed another 2 at double. And that takes him, I think, to 13 missed darts at double.
Yeah, apologies, just the graphics said 51. It was 41, so not a miscount from this one, but irrelevant. He's missed again. And Dirk, well, has given him another go. Is it time for Jeffrey Zwaan to get a leg on the board? Surely this time.
There it is. And at the 14th attempt, JDZ hits a dart at double and gets a leg on the board. It still looks an uphill task here. At 26, he's 4 years younger than Van Duijvenbode. So, which is the point, really, Mark? He's got plenty of time to get it back again, hasn't he? Get back up the rankings and
60.
get into the latter stages of big tournaments. So it's not all lost for Zwaan in terms of his career.
No, it was just, it's kind of stalled, hasn't it? But it's never over, is it? And we kind of come back again. Yeah, so when I always thought when Raymond van Barneveld retired, we'd see him and Michael van Gerwen as a pair. Well, it's been Michael and Danny, Michael and Dirk, Michael and Jermaine, and we've yet to see Michael with Jeffrey. We still may do it. It won't be this year. Credit to him to keep bouncing back. He's lost his talk card on a couple of occasions, and a couple of times he's got it back. It'd be concerning that he's getting himself in a position to lose it, because you'd argue his top-level play is too good for that. But we mentioned earlier, the rankings don't lie. If you've not got a talk card, you've not performed well enough in that 2-year cycle.
You lose your spot, yeah. It's very much a meritocracy. It's proper sport. As I said before, there's loads of players I think are better than their ranking,
95.
but they can't all be better than their ranking, can they? It's impossible. The rankings are the rankings.
They are indeed.
Oh, he's got it, and that leaves the ball.
85.
Yeah, and Jeffrey missed this earlier on in the match, the 130. This for a second consecutive leg. Staying up there. Nope, 12 tops.
52.
Pulls it low, and there wasn't really any conviction with that last start, was there? And you can see just a little bit fed up now, Jeffrey, isn't he? Dirk's done him a little favour here.
13.
And is the Van Duijvenbode mind wandering into the next round already, perhaps, as Zwaan closes to 4-2. There were sloppy shots there from Big Dirk. Missed a big number, then missed a double.
Just looking to reassert himself.
Hasn't
That's more
missed
like
the
it.
maximum. And he really is Mr. Maximum, isn't he? With 5 already in this match.
77.
The Swan, half the deficit, was 4-0 down, remember, has got it back to 4-2. Dirk, after starting that leg with a maximum, will feel fairly comfortable, even more so now.
$140.
A big scoring heavy hitter like Van Duijvenbode knows in this situation in a match he will get multiple darts in legs quite frequently due to his heavy scoring, and he won't have to convert at a very high rate to win from here. Now 46 and now 32, and that's better from Dirk Van Duijvenbode. It's very good, in fact. It's 11 dart leg, and it's 5-2 to the elder Dutchman.
Yeah, Dirk looking for back-to-back titles. He won the last Players' Championship in Barnsley. Beat Ryan Searle fairly comfortably in that final 8-2. There was a big victory over Cullen as well, 7-6 in the semi-final where he swerved some match starts. But
104.
Looking to go back-to-back. Will have to play better than this, you feel, if he's going to clinch the title, but this may be enough to get him through here. He's put himself in a commanding position.
81.
We've got 4 last 16 games currently in play.
26.
Van Tribe 2-1 down to Schindler. 5-2 obviously here. Aspinall 4-2 up on Rasmus. Smith 3-1 up on Dimitri van den Berg.
Well, Van Duijvenbode has not been brilliant on double by any manner of means, 5 out of 20, but he's 55. Been good enough. And the 5 maximums and the 4-ton 40s have bought him enough tries at double. As does Zwaan now, puts a maximum in. I think he's 3rd.
He's hanging on in there, Jeffrey Zwaan.
140.
But the way he's been finishing, you're not sitting here expecting this to be hit, but he gets a dart ball.
58.
But this is for the match for Dirk van Duijvenbode.
Missed a couple of bullseyes to Zwaan in the match. And now, what's his choice? Double 16 for Dirk for the match. And it is a comprehensive victory over his Dutch compatriot. Jeffrey Zwaan just missed too many darts at double, and Van Duijvenbode made him pay over and over again, and goes through comfortably by 6 legs to 2.